What's going on, workforce? Brian here, and today talking about Nintendo. It's been a while since we talked about them, but there's a lot little bits and pieces that are going on, and I wanted to share my thoughts and kind of get yours. Well, let's go ahead and do this thing. So for those who don't know, we are actually a part of the Nintendo's Creator Program. We're feeding into the machine in and of itself that is destined to destroy the world. I think one of the comments that really rang true about this program was like, we should just sue Nintendo. That we have the right via fair use from streaming, because streaming or gameplay and stuff like that, we're altering it in a way enough via guide or via whatever that says that no. This has been altered and kind of falls under fair use. The problem is no one's gone and put Nintendo to task, and a little channel like Work to Game does not have the resources necessary to go up against Nintendo. Now, there would be a lot of people backing this. I could easily see Microsoft, Amazon, even almost Google in and of itself wanting to have kind of this fight. And the reason I really kind of bring up this video is that I think Nintendo's going to war with PewDiePie and with YouTube, and because I just got this email that says live streaming on YouTube falls outside the scopes of the Nintendo Creators Program. This means that I cannot broadcast content on YouTube Live. What's interesting is no mention of Twitch whatsoever. Seems like they are like, hey, they're archived. It's not this really thing. So we've already moved all our streaming stuff over to Twitch anyway. And it's not like we're playing a lot of Nintendo games live anyway, but the Switch is getting bigger and it's more exciting. And you got Mario, you got all kinds of stuff coming out for it. Octopath Traveler, very excited about that. But because I featured footage from that game, I had to go and register those videos. So, meaning they take, the biggest cut. I think the last payment we received from Nintendo was literally a penny. So, really worth our time with it. But I love Nintendo games. Like, that's kind of where it boils down to. That's where the rough cut happens. And it really frustrates me. I'm smiling. You're like, Brian, you look so happy, and you're talking. I'm so confused. Your face does not communicate your frustration. And that's true. Anyway, I think this is in response to PewDiePie. Now, Chris and I did a long video over on our Work to Live vlog. You'll see it sometimes at the end tag of our videos. If you haven't seen it, I'll sure to include the link in the description below. It's 40 minutes. I think he was able to cut it down to 30 of us talking about kind of the fallout of PewDiePie and his live stream. And I think this kind of falls into it. My case was, and I don't agree with this at all, but I go, Nintendo comes out looking like the smart party here, because they are very protective of their content. And then the question becomes, is it fair use, and who has these rights? And the only way this gets resolved is through litigation. YouTube accepted the takedown request for PewDiePie. And I highly encourage you to go watch that video. I don't want to rehash the entire topic here, because what PewDiePie did and said is completely deplorable. It really frustrated me. Anyway, go see that video. I'm not going to rehash it here. I'll get too emotional. But they accepted that. The question is that where it dies? Is it, if anybody else decides to go and dogpile on a PewDiePie, that's fine. But Nintendo, being how protective they are, they come off looking like the smart people. And I believe in what I said, and the point I made in that video is that we're going to see other companies maybe do this, maybe move in this direction. You're going to see, instead of like, hey, we love streamers, like the guys who did Firewatch did, it's going to be more legalese in terminating, saying, hey, we love streamers, but we have the right to come back and slap you. Which that all leads us into what is, I think, boiling under the surface, is the concept of this fair use case that will come out eventually. And it needs to come out eventually, because this gray area of loosely defined what is fair use and what isn't when it comes to video games and streaming will at some point reach a head. And I don't know if PewDiePie is going to be the catalyst that gets it there to blow that up and hopefully, come out victorious. Again, you think of the companies that have a stake in it, with Microsoft, with Mixer, Google, YouTube, even Amazon with Twitch. You have some big companies that want to see streaming continue because they have these platforms and they also have their games, and there's these benefits. But I think we're going to see more things, kind of like what Nintendo's doing right here, and I feel that I'm kind of somewhat vindicated. I'd love to know Chris's thoughts, but he's on vacation right now, so we'll have to wait to get those later on this specific topic. That all being said, I can't stream Nintendo games on YouTube. I wasn't planning on it, but for the streamers, for those YouTubers out there, I'm sure what happens is I'm sure there are some that are going to be extra vetted, and Nintendo's going to do this. I think this is a knee-jerk reaction. Nintendo's playing defense. They don't want to lose control over this aspect, and that's why we're going to see this. I bet we're going to see some adjustments to this over time, but this is what it is. I guess I'll have to, play, Mario on Twitch. Oh no. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Is Nintendo right? Is Nintendo wrong? Are they making the smart move by protecting their IP, by limiting the exposure that the unknown has? Like, imagine PewDiePie playing Mario and I guess calling a Goomba some horrible word. And I don't know. I think maybe a Goomba in and of itself could be considered a horrible word. We're in a whole new territory here. So this is, I think, very understandable. I think it's wrong. I think it's disappointing. I think that from a perspective, Nintendo isn't putting their video games out there. The success of the Switch is interesting because for the longest time, like, no one's streaming games. No one's talking about your Nintendo games. They play them and they move on because there's not this extra sense of the community that we get when we talk about these games and we play these together. And this will be interesting to see because my friend just texted me and said, hey, I got an extra SNES Classic. I'm sending it your way. Thank you, Kyle. You, sir, are a scholar and a gentleman, and I love you forever. Always did. Julie told me our next kid, boy or girl, will be named after you. So Kylie or Kyle, we'll see. and so, yeah, I'm really excited to get my hands on the NES Classic. So I guess I'm going to have to kind of do that and do that on Twitch, and we'll go from there. So if nothing else, at least whether I'm streaming or I'm capturing video or I'm talking about it, I can still post videos about Nintendo on YouTube. And then I just have to do the whole process if I want to somewhat try to monetize any of that. And then at least nothing else with the SNES Classic. I can introduce my daughter to classic SNES Mario, to Final Fantasy 3, aka 6. All these great games that I'm really excited to play about. So many things, so many emotions, so many thoughts coming out of my mouth right now. Sounds like Annie needs me as well. So I'm going to wrap up. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic day. Hopefully this thing and this maneuver doesn't hurt you guys if you're a creator for Nintendo and for this. And hopefully, if you are a creator and you are doing something creative, hopefully you don't say anything stupid because we don't need it anymore right now. So be smart, be brave, and take care, everybody. Talk to you later.
Whoa! Thank you so much for watching. There should be another video like over here.
Or there.
Or a vlog somewhere around here. And the subscribe button is below with the contact info.
Here we go!